You want details? Fine. I drive a Ferrari 355 Cabriolet. What's up? I have a ridiculous house in the South Fork. I have every toy you can possibly imagine. And best of all, kids, I am liquid. So, now you know what's possible. Let me tell you what's required.
Life advice, lifeadvicerr@gmail.com. Kyle, quick back update because you get some people checking on you here. So how are we doing?
I stood all day yesterday. My legs are so tired, so I'm sitting down today. But I noticed that just when I stood at the bar most of the day when I was there. I stood during the podcast. I stood when I was editing the podcast. So I've just been doing a lot of standing. It's doing a little better. But still not great. Doctor's appointment tomorrow. We will see.
Okay.
You gotta rent one of those like zero gravity things. Those things that
inversion table
you hang from your feet. Yeah, those are super fun. I don't know if I'd buy one. I feel like anyone that buys one immediately regrets that decision like a month in the future. But for like a week or two, it'd be fun as hell to have. See if you could borrow one.
Would you think about maybe getting stuck? Does that ever happen? Or how many 911 calls are made from the bottom side of the inversion table?
That is true. Is that a fear of yours? I guess your girlfriend could go just yell in the other room, right?
That's true.
But it is a worry.
I'll give it a go. I talked to Austin yesterday, and he said that he believes me. He can't do Friday, so now the ball's in his court. Now the ball's in his court, but he believes me, and we're gonna get there. I found out that the other bouncer is like a semi-pro wrestler yesterday. So I'm making some plans to go see him in Pasadena wrestle some guys.
Like pro wrestling, like WWE style, or like wrestling, like high school wrestling?
No, like WWE style, AEW style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
that's cool. It's another thing you can not do.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
all right.
Uh-oh.
we got a soft jab resistance there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know what? You need to fight back, and I need you to.
All right.
Keep me in check. All right. There we go. All right. Couple tall and I don't know if we got tall or short people checking in here with Cerruti. A couple people were pissed. Some people will agree. It's kind of the way it goes. All right. 6'9", 245, played D1 basketball at a mid-major, then overseas for 5 years. Wanted to provide some thoughts from the tall guy perspective. Long story short, I wouldn't change it, even though I feel like being 6'9" has much more cons than pros, especially if you're not an athlete or find a profession where you can take advantage of it. Outside of being athletic, I don't like, hey, is he a good painter? He's not the best with his edges, but he can reach. He can
doesn't need a ladder though.
No ladders.
Yeah, right. Smoke alarm guy. Yeah, here's neat Cliff.
Yeah,
gutters. Guy walks in with his tool. He's like, I got it. Don't worry about it. All right, being 6'9", it sucks buying clothes. Anything over 6'6", you can't buy regular clothes. You have to buy a bigger car, especially if you need car seats behind you. You hit your head on doorways that aren't standard 7 feet. Cali King bed required. Life expectancy is shorter. Good point by Cerruti. Shower heads aren't high enough. Airplanes suck. Custom golf clubs. It's mostly an inconvenience day to day. On top of that, you can't go in public without being stared at or having people ask how tall you are constantly. It's especially obnoxious in a bar setting, and dozens of people will ask in one night. Your friends will talk shit to people and act like the big guy will back them up. When you're with a group of guys, girls don't normally go for the freakishly tall guy. Luckily, I did play sports, or I would say definitely I would rather have been 5'10". Wow. All right. So this is a very pro Cerruti take here. The positive side is that you're unique in some way. You're memorable, which helps for things like my post-athlete sales job when trade shows were a thing. Mostly, though, it's a pain in the ass. I did get a free education opportunity to travel the world a bit and make a few bucks doing it. There's not too many advantages, though, that I can think of.
That's pretty much my point. And, I guess like the dating scene must be difficult because he's probably right. Like, if you're 5'2", is a girl going to be interested in you if you're 6'9"? Like you're probably dating a lot of volleyball players, which isn't a bad thing, but like that pool is much smaller. So I think you laid out exactly why I thought the 5'10" thing wasn't that bad. You blend in, you're kind of average, but would you rather be average? Like, and he played a sport, so at least he has that going for him. If he didn't play a sport, it's almost even worse.
The people coming up to you thing, though, is something that I don't think people realize. Like, I'm friends with Eric Chenoweth. We go to concerts together. He's 7'1". He played at Kansas. You're supposed to be a lottery. We've had him on the podcast. We talked about it. He does insurance now. He covers a lot of the major draft prospects. He's 7'1". He's an enormous human being. And we went to the Tool show in Anaheim a couple of weeks ago. And, we're hanging out. We're having a beer in the lobby. And guys just come right up to him, like, how tall are you? Because they were in the group, they were staring at him the whole time, and they run over. He just goes 7'1". And then it's just weird. It's weird because I don't know that we would ever do that. Like, I don't know. I mean, look, I dated a girl when I was back in Vermont, and she had mutant proportions. Mutant. All right. And people would just come. Yeah, thanks, God. Someone would come up to her because she was 5 feet, and maybe she might have been like 4'11", and they would just say, "Oh my God, like, there's no way that's real." And she'd be like, "Yes." And it was just, I would watch it and go, it blows my mind the comfort other people can have. Like, it's actually, Twitter is worse because it's not face to face. So in a way, this is supposed to be better because it's like, well, at least but in a way, it's way more insulting that you would actually say these things. But it also kind of speaks, again, a lot of times I feel like people are so selfish in so many different ways that, like, for their own amusement, they're just going, hey, and you have no idea how they can mess with somebody. Like, again, I was really young, so this is kind of a stupid story. I was 12, I think. I was at this basketball camp, and my dad had long hair. And so I grew out my hair a little bit. I don't know why I did it. I guess I love my dad. And I had a very pretty face at that phase of my life. And a couple of the older guys in a group came up to me and they were like, "You're a boy, right? Like, you have a dick."
Oh.
And, I was like, it was tough,
Devastated.
man. Devastated. And I was pissed, but I was like, fucked up about it. And I called home and I fucking cried on the phone. I was like, I don't want to be here. And they're like, you have to tough it out.
Cut your hair.
You got to stay, right? And I stayed and I got MVP. And my dad was like, "Do you want to stay for the trophy ceremony?" And I was like, "Fuck these people," which is probably where it all started. But and then I cut my hair, I think, that summer. But yeah, I like it. Again, I was a kid, so it's a little different. You could say with the adults. I don't know. I just think it's a really weird thing to do. I know you want to jump in, Kyle, so just go ahead.
No, all I was going to say was I was walking up Vine Street yesterday, and there was this super lanky guy. I was like listening to my music, walking towards Frolic Room, and there was this super lanky guy coming the other way, and like kind of a strange outfit, but the guy was probably pushing 7 feet, and I just started walking towards him. We were both coming like towards each other, but I just started veering towards him like, "Wait, Kyle, what are you doing, buddy? We're not addressing this guy's height or anything about what he's wearing. Just keep going." So, I mean, it was just like naturally I started drifting towards him, maybe to get a better look at him or whatever. But I mean, I'm not somebody who comes up to people like, "You're really tall. How tall is your dad?" Like, I'm not that kind of guy. But I was like, wait, I'm like being pulled in by this tractor beam. I stopped and I didn't say anything. I righted myself on my route. But yeah, it's even somebody who's would never ever dream of like addressing somebody's height to a stranger. Even I was like being pulled in towards this guy's aura or something. I don't know. But I
thought about the Chenoweth thing too, by the way. Like, you were at the Tool concert. That must, like, if you're sitting behind him, I wonder how self-conscious he is about like blocking people's views. Like, it would just be tough. Like, it would just be hard. I would be in my own head about stuff.
He's so accommodating about it. He turns around to everybody. He's like, "Look, just can we figure out some angles? Like, I don't want to ruin the moment for you or whatever." He's off the charts nice. And he's not remote. If he were mean, if he had a mean bone in his body,
Look
I don't
out.
know. Yeah,
but who's gonna fuck with him? I mean,
nobody. Because even if you're a badass of a guy, like, there's a certain size level where, I don't know. I mean, okay, 7'1", 300. Go ahead, dude. You get your leg kicks ready. Like, and again, if it's like a real UFC guy, of course he's gonna beat up with just anybody, but all right, I don't know if I want to do UFC, like middling UFC career guy versus Eric Chenoweth. I think we'll leave that topic.
Here come the emails.
Right. Yeah.
Instead of seeing another Jake Paul fight, which I know people like, I'd like to see like a decent fighter fight someone who's 7 feet, just to see what happens, like an average 7 foot guy.
Yeah. And by the way, just for the record, all the UFC guys would beat up like anybody that's walking around, but maybe guys couple days a week, getting some kicks in, wears the jacket at happy hour, maybe that guy doesn't have a good of his chance. Okay, this one's titled Gym Scam, which I think is beautiful because it isn't.
Okay.
All right, guys, got a good one for you. I'm 28, work in my hometown and make an honest living. I infrequently go to this gym my parents have been members at forever. It's actually associated with a hospital where my dad is employed, so I was hooked up with a family discount for a long time. Rewind a little bit, I'm 25. That's when you're no longer on the family plan, so no big deal. I bought a couple months membership and got after it, and they also offer discounts at the company I work for, so it came out to $40 a month. Not bad. I tend to go to the gym more in the winter months. I do a lot of outdoor exercises like running, cycling, and even hit up some other buddies' home gyms more than the actual gym. So it's not like an everyday thing for me. After I bought the 2-month membership, I went back and shortly after to renew, only to discover my card was still active. So I kept it moving. So I guess what he thought was
He was getting free
the
gym.
cart. Yeah, he was scanning it and they were just letting him in, which was your first mistake. And then another time, the card was still active, kept it moving. I thought to myself, well, I bet they put me back on the family plan or Pop was helping out. Either way, they didn't ask me for payment, nor did I offer for almost 3 years, which is the reason for this email. I go to the gym the other day and scan my card. The dude stopped me. He goes, hey, are you so-and-so? I'm like, yes. Starts clicking around his computer, only to inform me I have a $620 balance on my account. Now, he was really nice about it, even putting some of the blame on the gym's faculty for not letting me know. Yeah, no shit. I was very civil with him, played it cool, but in the back of my head, I thought there's no way I'm paying this full amount. I feel like I have a couple options here. One, never show up to this gym again and hope it gets swept under the rug, as I was never in any kind of written contract saying I owe them money. Two, work with them and come to an agreed amount to pay, the most reasonable. Three, put my asshole shorts on and tell them I'm not paying them anything due to the fact they never asked me nor notified me of any payment. And they're completely out of their minds to expect me to pay for almost 3 years of membership when it was clearly their fault. Appreciate the help, guys. Love the show. All right. Well, at first glance at this, I thought maybe you were getting charged every month because you didn't cancel it. And that's not a scam. That's a subscription business plan.
Correct.
And that's why there's so many things being like, should you subscribe to, like, hey, Russillo, do you want to do reads for this new monthly company that ships hunting axes? Like, hey, cool axe. After the 7th month, I don't think I need this many hunting axes. I have a Sacramento Bee subscription right now. And for the life of me, every time I look at my statements each month, I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, it's still there. I feel like I'm supporting a local newspaper. Obviously, I'm not clearly locked into what's going on up there all that much. I'd like to cancel it. I had to sign up because I was researching something. I needed this article. It's what I owe the audience, I felt like, because I was researching a thing for an open monologue. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'll just do the free trial. I paid the SAC B now for like over a year, and I can't seem to cancel
Nice.
it.
They need
Ryan
you.
supporting
They need you.
newspapers. Respect.
Yeah. Hey, print right here, guys. Taking care of you.
Journalism.
Ryan
pro
and Brian
journalism.
Curtis. Yeah. You two guys are keeping it alive.
Like, you read the SAC B? Yeah, I fucking love it.
Have you noticed though? It is actually impossible now though. Like if you do like a free trial, because I've watched a lot of shows like on free trials that I'm never going to subscribe to. It is impossible to unsubscribe, like nearly impossible to unsubscribe from some of the free trials. Like they make
I've
it
tried.
so hard, and you're like, shit, maybe I'll just pay the $10 a month to just not deal with having to cancel this freaking membership.
That's what I'm doing right now. Like, I've tried, and I go, all right, you won this round, Sacramento Bee. That's the hardest video game I've ever played. I can't unsubscribe from the thing. And I've tried, and you're right, Cerruti. And that's what so many, I mean, think about it. There's an app now that exists for you to sign up for that tracks all the things that you're subscribed to. Like, think how dumb that makes us look as people. Like, I need to actually get an app that helps me tell me all the things that are just doing an automatic debit for me. That's why Van Pelt we'd always laugh at him. And he goes, I sit down at the first of the month and I bring out my checkbook and I look at the bills and I write out the checks. I'm like, you can't possibly still be doing. Yeah. And he goes, I don't like the debit thing. I don't know if he's changed.
He doesn't trust banks. Yes.
He doesn't trust banks.
He's a mattress guy.
Yeah, he's all gold. He asked ESPN in the latest deal. He's like, is there any way I could play sterling silver?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck Bitcoin and banks. I'm just gonna keep mineral reserves on. We gotta have him on. Maybe we'll have him on next week. You know what? Book Van Pelt for next week, because we'll just do a Super Bowl recap. We'll tell stories, memories, and see what his position is right now on stockpiling natural resources.
Crypto assets. I would love to know that. I don't know. You never know.
The only way he would have crypto is if there were some deal that. Yeah. But then I don't even know if he would tell me. Well, maybe he'd tell me, but I don't think he's going to tell anybody in the podcast or something like that. Okay. All right. So back to the email here. We spent a lot of time on that. Sorry about it. This isn't that, though. This isn't that. Because I've had friends go, oh, I can't believe I've been getting charged this entire time. You're like, why? Why? Did you cancel it? Oh, you didn't? You didn't cancel your gym membership and then you couldn't believe it? Now, you also, as one of the rules always applies, like when you think something's working out for you, it usually isn't. When I moved into a new house, I didn't get a garbage bill for 6 months. All right. And finally, somebody was like, hey, the guy that owned the property got your garbage bill for 6 straight months. And it's because somebody's losing. Right? Somebody was losing. Now, I took care of it immediately. And I'm not going to be a total hypocrite with this because I remember what it was like when you move in a new apartment, you get the old coaxial into the Trinitron and you're like, no way. If I don't use a box and I just go channel up and channel down on this, I have free cable for 41 channels. That's it. Problem solved. Of course I've done that. But in this case, when this stuff happens, it usually means the bad news is coming at some point. But I wouldn't call it a gym scam, but they still shouldn't get away with this, right? So if the guy is already admitting some defeat, then I would use that, go, hey, look, the guy at the front desk even said, hey, this isn't really the way it works. So let's come up with a reasonable number here. I'll pay for my visits or whatever. But I think there's a very clear way that you can get out of this because why would they run it up like a bar tab? That's weird. That's very weird to me that this gym, unless it's just a kind of mom and pop gym, where I don't think you should be demanding zero, because you're still using the place. You thought you had the scam on them, but I also don't think that $620 is fair either. So I'm sure you can come to some kind of compromise and you don't have to be a dick about it.
$600 for 3 years, though? I mean, most gyms are like, that's nothing, isn't it? Am I missing something?
No, it's $40 a month is pretty low, man. I mean, granted, some guys are gonna be like, oh, my place is $90. Congrats on your $19.99 deal. All right. You're right, Kyle. That's low. But now when it's all, I'm sure he's just looking at this going, hey, if you owe us $620, I mean, you could also never show up again. But then again, if they decide they want to come after you, even if they're wrong, they could just report it. Depends on how aggressive they want to be. So now you got a $620 outstanding debt on your credit report. And then every time you go for a major loan, they're going to go, what the hell is this? And then you're going to have to write some letter of what that means. And it's still going to be there for 7 to 10 years. That's if they're going to report this stuff. So I would get in front of it. I would try to come to some kind of compromise. And I think that they're probably going to say, oh, you barely used it and we charged you for 3 years. Yeah, let's be fair about it. So I think most places are like that.
I would just say if it's a mom and pop place, try to help them out. Like maybe they just don't have everything buttoned up properly, and they're like, yeah, we could probably use this $100. If it's like a conglomerate, I would either not pay it or try to bargain it down.
No, I think anytime it's something like this, like you can be reasonable about it. You don't have to start at asshole position. Okay. Yeah,
the option 3 should not be an option.
Right. Now, there's some people that only subscribe to option 3, and I think a lot of times those people get their way. I have a renter that I know pissed all over a nice mattress, and I didn't realize it because they took the mattress cover off, which was totally not something I would think
an adult
an adult.
Wow.
And so I was like, hey, there's piss on this mattress when I came in to give it a once over because I didn't realize you took the mattress cover off. And he was like, oh, it must have been the previous people. I was like, it 100% wasn't.
That would have been me.
And he's like, no, you should check with them. He's a lawyer, so I'm like, all right, yeah, okay, whatever.
Can you prove that I peed on this mattress? No, I can't, but it's pretty.
I know you did it, and you ruined a $1,500 mattress, really nice mattress, and you pissed on it, and you're a grown up, and you left it there for me, and then you lied.
Furnished apartments, I don't know. Just seems like
it's such a hardo move.
I should be able to break my stuff. I don't want to worry about breaking your stuff. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, he ruined a nightstand.
Yeah,
sucks.
Here we go.
Man.
Ruin, put a little scratch in it, chips. Like, what are we talking?
I was like, did I just rent a place to 25-year-old me? Like, what?
Did they respect the wood? Was there like cup rings on the woods? Tables, dressers?
Oh, no, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
I know you look.
Yeah,
or that covering up sheetrock holes with, vent. Those, you ever see that you drill a vent into the sheetrock hole to cover it up? Like, why is there a vent here? I don't know. It was here when I got here.
Airflow.
Yeah, it goes straight to the outside.
Yeah, we like to have some eye level airflow. It's a new thing. You didn't read about that? Yeah, it's good. Okay, so we did some recap there. We'll do more life advice. we have kind of a new life advice plan. We're not changing life advice. Don't worry about that. But we've got a couple people that are going to stop by and do it with us. So we'll make it up to you. Thanks to Steve and Kyle, the Ryen Russillo podcast, Ringer Spotify.